I had the great privilege of being a judge at one of the first Indigenous tribunals that was talked about this morning. I was also a judge in Toronto. And Toronto holds a special place in my heart because we targeted Canada. Not only at home for all its mining projects that it does within our own territories, but also globally, particularly here in South and Central America. And I think the thing that really sits with me is that Canada is at COP and many other UN and international arenas talking about how great it is, talking about how great it treats its Indigenous people, how it upholds the greatest standards of human rights, how they do development projects all over the globe and support people with aid and money and all sorts of different things. Canada likes to have this reputation of being the good guy. We're not like the US. We're somehow different and multicultural and all of these things. However, that's not the case when it comes to mining. And I think for myself, really understanding and seeing the impacts of mining, not only in our home communities and territories. I'm from Treaty 4, which is a small part of southern Saskatchewan, Alberta, and a part of Manitoba. If you know about Standing Rock and the Nodapo fight, that same oil deposit stretches into my territory. North of where I live in Treaty 6 is one of the biggest uranium deposits in possibly the whole world. Next to that deposit, further northwest of us, is the tar sands, one of the biggest development projects on Earth. So you can imagine what Canada's doing in its own home territory by violating Indigenous rights, the rights of nature, and so many other things that it does illegally. And also how it harbors these corporations. And I think for myself, that's also been something that we've been thinking about as a strategy in partnership with those in the South and that are impacted by Canadian mining companies, is how can we stop these companies. So it's been really interesting to see people come to Canada and sue Canadian mining companies within Canada. Because if you don't know how the structure works, the corporations and the title to those corporations are held within Canada, but it does all of its mess in other parts of the world. I think what's also been very interesting is we've been able to, through infinite research and brilliant minds that have done this research, to find the links between Canadian mining companies and the assassination and murders of community members and land defenders directly. And that's also been really difficult to do over the years because, of course, they hire people through back rooms to do their dirty deeds on the ground. But we know that at the end of the day, Canada and both these corporations are responsible for the deaths of human rights defenders. So this is really important work, not only for us back home, because we consider what the mining companies and what Canada is allowing to happen is slowly killing our people from very rare cancers and other things like that. We understand, though, that if we really want to see restoration and reclamation, we also need to heal all of these things. If we really want decolonization, these types of things have to stop. And unfortunately, our people are the ones that are the front lines of these struggles. It's always an emotional thing because it's a deep grief that we feel not only for our people, but for the land. And so I just really wanted to say thank you to participating in these processes because they do make a difference and they allow us to meet each other and to share our stories, which is really, really important. So thank you for your time.